No silly bullshit, goddamn man. Here I am, you motherfucker, you. White folks in the house. Welcome, what goddamn white people, you what? White folks here to see me. What type of shit is this? You know you made it when white folks come see you somebody. Close your legs. I can't work like that. Close your goddamn legs. Type of shit is this? What type of shit is this? Can't work like this here. We all people here. The white folks, man. You white or you gonna feel you welcome. I mean, goddamn, boy, you know you some motherfucking body. I keep telling you, you successful. Well, white people come see you. Ain't no difference between white and black. We the same, some of my bitches. All of us the same up in here. We all gonna die. All of us the same fucked up individual. All of us. White, black, ain't no difference. We just do shit different. You know, black folks, you know, we do shit different than white folks. That's all. I've been black a long time. Don't tell me. I know the fuck I'm talking about. White folks pay their bills on time. They're good people. We pay our bills when the fuck we get ready. You see the bills on the goddamn table, you push the shit to the side. Black folks don't pay no bills. They see the red right inside that motherfucker. No. And everybody in here knows what the fuck what red mean. Red mean hurry up. Be quick, motherfucker. Be fast. But you know we ain't gonna pay all of it. Give them $100. Shit, we paying 30. We got the smoke. We got the drink. Party weekend coming up. Gotta get my nails done. Gotta get my hair done. Black folks don't get their nails and hair done. I don't give a fuck what's going on. May not be no food in the refrigerator. Might not be no light on, but we're gonna look good like a motherfucker, ain't we? Kids hungry like a summer, my bitch. I didn't want you in the first place, goddammit. You know I ain't bullshit. I'm telling you like a child here. Black folks something else, boy. We like to keep up with some shit. We the only people to go to our job. That's what we run that, motherfucker. We tell the boss what the fuck we ain't gonna do. We come in, burn it, look here, goddamn. I'm not going on the West Wing, goddamn it. Get Peter to go over that motherfucker. I've been doing this shit all goddamn night. And don't let it be no telephone up in there. We're gonna call everybody but who the fuck we supposed to call.
That's a fact.
And the supervisor better not say shit to me. You be on the phone, supervisor come, it's an argument, ain't it? Bernie, hold on a minute, hold on. What? Sick of this shit, man. Man, call me back, man. This job be tripping.
Welcome back to the After Dark podcast, where we debate topics that are none of our business. It's your boy Mike. We got Big Stir in the building. This is the post-Juneteenth podcast. Ayo! Gotta show some love. No other way to bring in Juneteenth than the good old Bernie Mac, my favorite stand-up comedian. Just had to show y'all exactly what being black is about. That's what it's all about, man. And the crazy thing is, Sterling, I mean, honestly, I think it's honestly wild that nobody fucking knew what Juneteenth was until like 2-3 years ago. Like,
that is absolute facts, bro. It goes to show that, like, and I ain't blaming on education system or nothing like that. I ain't trying to get political here, but it's one of those things that's like, there's a lot of important historical things that have happened in American history. That's one of the biggest things that's happened in American history, particularly obviously for black folks altogether. So, I mean, it is wild, but I ain't mad at nobody for not knowing if they didn't really teach it necessarily, and they didn't really, if they did, they wouldn't have acknowledged it or made it a
that. I am mad, bro. Them white people know every single holiday. They got National Burger Day, National Hug a Pelican Day. I don't know. They come up with all these crazy holidays, but you can't remember when niggas were fucking freed out in this bitch. Like, all these goddamn holidays I be seeing on Twitter. Not one time is someone bring up, oh, you know, this is the day black people were freed on some Juneteenth bullshit. We had to be locked in pandemic to figure that out.
It's wild because, like, On Monday I had to work because I'm a private. I work for a privately held company, not federally based or none of that. So I had to work on Monday. My standard more like get to the office a little bit early. Leave 4:30, 5, like kind of depending on the day. Whatever. Our director's in town. He came in yesterday on Juneteenth. I know they were just like, I was looking around. I was like waiting for somebody to say something about Juneteenth. Not one motherfucker said a damn thing. Look, I mean, look, I don't have a massive office of people, nothing like that. Very, very family, like kind of feel, very like wholesome. But bro, ain't not one motherfucker say anything. I made a dig at it first thing in the morning. I said, I hope I don't go see any black business owners like and me trying to walk into their business today because they're gonna be pissed off at me that why the fuck I'm at their business on a day that I shouldn't be working. And I just thought that shit was funny as hell. But no, big ups. Obviously for the people that push for this to be a federal holiday, and two, obviously get the appreciation of all like our forefathers, you and I, and all our black brother and sisters before. So I'm really happy that this is continue to be acknowledged, and obviously for years to come now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to roll right into the podcast and get it going, son. We got a lot of shit on the dock today. Gunna dropped a new album. Ja Morant suspension finally came in. We're going to figure out what we think about all that. We got Black React and the Bradley Beal trade. Sports has been crazy, but we're not going to start off with sports. We're going to start off with what we've been waiting for 4 years. 4 years we've been waiting, and we finally got season 6 of Black Mirror. And what way to start off season 6 than an absolute banger of an episode with episode 1, JOAN is Awful. Sterling, I had you watch it last night. I know you said you were excited to talk about this. It was fucking trippy. Go ahead. Lay it out. Give me your first initial thoughts on the episode.
First off, no disrespect to that woman who played who is Joan. Okay, god damn it. How do I even say this without like getting somebody in a damn loop? First off, if you haven't watched this episode and you're listening to this right now, like you got to stop like this segment and you got to go watch it because everything that we say is going to be like it ain't going to make no damn
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. There you go.
Yes, this is definitely a spoiler alert. But the original Joan, let's say that, the white Joan, the original white Joan, bro, first off, she already was a bitch, right? Respectfully. I'm not trying to be like,
wait,
that's
which
not
one?
me being
The original one, like the actual real one, or the one we got introduced to first?
Oh, fuck, dude.
That's why this shit's mind blowing, dude. That's why this shit's mind blowing.
It's the one that we got introduced to first when she was firing the black girl.
Okay, yeah.
That one. First off, she already mean. She ain't got no damn sympathy or empathy, I should say, for anybody, bro. You could tell she was already a little bit off. And like as the episode progressed, like I was just like listening to her, like the one we initially got introduced to. I'm gonna call her skinny white Joan, and then I'll call the other white Joan slightly bigger, and then I'll call Kathleen Bennett that played her in the third iteration of the show. So
yeah, let's identify all the women by objectifying by their bodies.
That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. I just want to try to make it. It's trying to make it as clear as possible because it's really fucking hard without like watching it. Even if you did watch it, it's hard to like
keep up,
pinpoint all the time. Yeah. So I mean, I really enjoyed it. I didn't, and like I had told you before, and even when you told me to watch it, I was like, all right, I'll give it a watch. And it was a 50-minute episode. I was glad it was long, but I really did enjoy it. It made me think a little bit. It made me kind of look introspectively because I was like, damn, they better make it 800 million of these motherfuckers. Like, JOAN is awful. Brad's awful. Brad's awesome. Jake is awful. Like, bro, I was like tripped out because like in real life, bro, it was all about the terms and conditions. That's literally the whole episode's about terms and conditions.
What would that Sterling is awful look like?
Oh shit. you probably would see something you don't want to see, and I mean like literally you don't want to see it. Like you probably see that, you probably see me. Honestly, I'm not that bad of a person, really. Like if you look deep down into it, like I don't say or do a lot of awful things. I do some awful things, just as any human being does. But awful is such a really hard word.
But the
But
the kind of crazy thing
yeah, I'm
that,
just
like, when
talking.
you were saying about like the perspective and looking into it, is that what you kind of notice about the Joan is awful and all these different iterations of, name is awful and blah blah blah, is that it really doesn't take much that would really, like, damn, I'm kind of a fucked up individual. Like, some of the stuff that was going on was just very it happens every day in life. Like her situation she was going through, and I know a lot of niggas were probably triggered. Like, damn, am I the one she's playing it safe with? Like, fuck. Like, I need a
Hmm.
fucking Joan is awful to figure out if my chick really being loyal out here. But nah, it's crazy because you realize that, like, it's everyday life things, which is what they kind of spoke to. Is that, every, like, it's so real, you feel it, and it's so tailored to you, and people are more attracted to Joan is awful than Joan is awesome, and it could be
Yeah, they
anything.
spoke
And
about that.
yeah, and when you're living it, you don't even feel like, I mean, you're doing some fucked up shit, but you don't feel like, oh, I'm awful. You don't feel like if this was played on TV, I would just be perceived as a terrible human being.
Well, hold up. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to make one quick point. One of the things that the human brain does is we can't do negatives. So like if I tell you not to think of a red balloon, you're gonna think of a red balloon. Like it's literally how our brains work. We can't even help it. We look at more negative than positive regardless because it's more impactful more often than not than it is the positive things. Things being things like physical things and even actions, positive actions versus negative actions. Like we see them as more impactful and even threatening to our livelihood. So that's why we pay more attention to. That's what hooks people in. The lady spoke about that in the show. But continue.
Yeah, so, and one of the crazy things too is the creator of Black Mirror, he was kind of talking about how everybody perceives Black Mirror as technology is bad and technology advancement is bad for the human race. And he kind of refuted that. He was like, no, 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 that's not what I'm trying to portray from these shows. I'm not trying to portray that technology is bad, technology advancement and stuff like that is not bad either. What he was really showing is just how awful humans are and how we will use the goodness out of technology and all the great things that come and all the efficiencies that come with it for terrible things. And we'll be the reason why technology will end up having a net negative than a net positive, not because of the technology itself, but because the humans operating the technology, which I thought was also an
Yeah.
interesting point too.
Yeah, I think that you make a really good point there because uh, to that very notion, it's the fact that like there's so many good things that technology does on a day-to-day basis, but we make technology what it is. Like when people talk about Instagram, Instagram is based off of technology, right? The way you get things in your algorithm now, who you see, who you don't see, who gets suggested as your to follow, who doesn't, blah 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 blah. Like, and it's all based like I've always talked about social media in general, but particularly like Instagram and how girls and guys want to look on online. Excuse me, those are all negative perceptions too because it's not body positive most of the time. Like people are like, oh, body positive. No, like you can't do that either. It's the same notion, and I can appreciate the creator or the writer of all Black Mirror and stuff like making that point because I feel that technology has a timeline, and the timeline goes as not as up and down as as maybe the whole world is because obviously for the 1900s you obviously had World War One, World War Two, Holocaust, Civil War or not Civil War, sorry, Vietnam War, Cold War, I mean a bunch of different things, and it was very like up and down. Whereas I see technologies like hits plateaus; they don't necessarily go down. It doesn't ever go downward. It's how we use it, like you said. And like I said, I think the other point of the show is terms and conditions, because every single motherfucker in that show was caught off guard about terms and conditions. And I have said this before, and I say this shit to people all the time. My mom always told me, shout out mom, Mama Reid. She always told me, read the shit that you sign. If you put your name on that shit, like,
Nigga,
read
you
it.
ain't
Like,
read one terms and condition on your Apple phone.
Okay.
I don't want to hear that shit. That should
Okay,
be long
okay,
as hell.
I have read some, but I haven't read all. And
You probably read like a couple paragraphs and was like, yeah, that sound good.
I read the important stuff. Like, if it's something that, like, it's not like necessarily something like an app I'm downloading being sketchy, because they don't even have those in the App Store if I was trying to do that. But I'm saying, like, if I'm downloading like an app for whatever reason, like, I'm gonna look at the things like monetarily, how could I, like, how is this being, what are the situations with that? X, Y, and Z, what I find important. Like I said, like, you're right, I'm not reading the whole damn thing. I'm not a fucking lawyer, and I hate reading. I like listening to books. I don't read books. And people are like, oh my God, he's so stupid. Like, he's not smart. No, guess what? Reading takes time. Listening, I could do any time I want. So that is my rebuttal to that off the rip. Like,
I
bro,
got a
you gonna read a
couple-
book?
No, go ahead, finish.
No, I was gonna say, you gonna read a book while you fucking driving in your parents' house 3-4 hours away? What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna be in the damn ditch? I don't wanna hear that shit.
Yeah, fuck reading a book. You can just listen to it and multitask. We're in a multitask world. I got a couple gripes with the show though. So, my first one is when she realized that she was being filmed and she started doing a bunch of crazy stuff. Like, I feel like I wouldn't have done nothing crazy. I feel like I would have just been super boring and just been like, oh, this is not even good TV no more. Like, why didn't she just chill in the bed and just, watch Netflix? Or I guess she might be scarred from, or Streamberry.
It's Streamberry. That shit was fire though. I was like, damn, they really just used Netflix just used exactly their whole thing for that. No, dude, like, think about it. She was being awful that particular day they ran the show. Literally that day, she was being awful. Everything that she did can be seen as awful. Like, her firing the girl, whatever, like that, like you said, that shit happens every day. People get fired every day. Shit. Most people probably listen to this have gotten fired or let go of a job before in their life, especially if you had a job during COVID. You probably got some type of furlough or something. But then she goes as, like, she's texting this guy, which we know that ain't right. And then it led up to.
But we also know that happens.
And it does happen. And a lot of people will see it as awful. I wouldn't describe anything like that as awful. I do think it's a little bit of betrayal. I don't think it's right.
No, that shit's like, awful, bro. She's engaged to this nigga and you hitting up your ex.
And then what she says to her therapist, which is fucked up, about like, oh my God, so we used to have the craziest sex, like her and her ex. And I'm like, first off, I thought to myself, like, damn, is that like, you look like you 35, 40 years old, like, bro, it's done for you, dog. Like, it ain't no more like hot sex no more. We ain't in our 20s and early 30s. Like, it's wraps. Secondly, then was she saying, yeah, like, Karish makes good, like, his food is really bland. And I'm like, how is he? That's a lie, because he's fucking Indian. That shit is not bland in real life.
That shit's spicy as fuck.
That shit's, if he's a real, like, Indian guy, like, and I'm not assuming his race, but I'm assuming his fucking race.
Also would have been like, bitch, do you see your skin? You know damn well you ain't ate no food with no type of seasoning your whole entire life, and you gonna complain about some. She must have had a nigga at first. I mean, but pre the old ex, she was with a nigga, no doubt, because if she complained about the food's bland, she was like, nah, I ain't never had chicken like Tyrone gave me. Tyrone used to feed me that good fucking chicken.
That's not all he was feeding her. But the thing is, bro, is like everything that whole day she was being quote unquote an awful person. Like, granted, like, therapy is supposed to be completely confidential, and I have no problem with people saying what they got to say in therapy and getting it out. But bro, and then she went home. Then she went and had a cheeky little kiss with my man. Like, and and then came back home and kissed her man on the lips right when she got to the house, and then did the same shit about saying yum when that shit bland as a motherfucker. Literally said yum. I'm like, nah, nigga. Like, if that was me,
he says it good.
she said, "Is that salt?" I was like,
That
bro,
shit had me
ain't
dead.
no.
That shit had me dead.
I was like, I literally said to myself, like, ain't no fucking way she just said that. That nigga is clueless, bro. What does he do for a living? Like, what is he even here for?
No, I'd have been
Like,
heated as soon as she said, "Is that salt?" I'd be like, "Nah, this bitch got me fucked up."
I thought motherfucker, like,
She
this
trying
shit
to
been
play in my
marinating for
face
2
right
motherfucking
now.
days. Yeah, but like, and then they started watching the show, and it was like, damn, like, it's one of those moments because, like I've said, everyone has those days. Everyone has those days. Everyone gets that. Everyone has those days where you do not necessarily awful things, but things that may be a little bit out of character, or you don't feel 100% comfortable with, or those things. Those days happen, bro. Like, they happen more often they happen more often than we like to think they do. And that's one of the beautiful parts about being human, man. Like, there's so many good things you can do, but there's so many bad things that you
But that's
can
the second thing that really grind my gear, though. She knew from the jump of that show that, A, this thing is following what I did all day, word for word, move for move. She could have cut that bitch off from the jump, and the dude wouldn't have had no problems with it. He only had a problem with her cutting it off because she waited till it got to the good stuff. And I was like, yo, as soon as you saw that you were driving and it was making the same turns as I made, and I knew what I just did,
and the same music, the same exact music, bro.
And I knew exactly what I just did, I'd have been like, nah, we gon' nah.
We can watch that other that movie that you wanted to watch. Yeah, we can watch that.
Yeah.
Like,
I heard Love Island UK new
movie.
season's out. Let me put that on.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I would have been jetted, bro, off that shit. I would have been off Streamberry and got right on. Probably would have been called Sulu on that shit. Sulu. Chill.
I did that last part. I was like, man, I don't know.
I don't know about that, bro. It's crazy because like kind of like you were saying, it would have taken me that long to figure out. Like, damn, like they knew exactly what I was listening to, and that's my work, bro. Ain't no way I'm watching the rest of this. Honestly, I probably would have watched it because I knew it, even if I knew I didn't do anything bad, or even if I did, I wouldn't give a fuck at that point. I'd be like, damn. That shit crazy.
I mean, I watch it on my own, but I'm cutting that shit off. I'm being like, nah, we not watching this in front of this nigga. But like, what also is kind of crazy. So let's say in a reality, this were to take place. Like, would this be entertainment you'd be into? I'd be so into it.
Oh, dude, I would be fucking disgustingly into it. Like, I wouldn't even. I'd be taking days off from work trying to watch this shit. Not even, no cap. I'd be like, and I wouldn't want to, like, see, it's not that I hate anybody or anything like that, right? It's just that, like, you know those types of people in your life that just seem really perfect, like good people, like where they feel like they don't do anything bad. Like, there's nothing that they do wrong. It would honestly, and this sounds fucked up for all the people that I've told that you're like saints and shit. I don't mean this in a bad way. But I would love to see the grimy shit you do, bro. Like, I would love to see the grimy shit you do. Because everybody's got a little grimy sometimes, bro. You gotta be to survive in this world. Like, if you ain't grimy, like, you ain't doing it right.
What if OnlyFans had their own version?
That subscription to that shit would be $100 a fucking month, bro. Easy. And people would pay for it.
It would be more, bro. Just imagine you could just Google search on OnlyFans anybody and they just, oh, you accepted terms and conditions, so now we got your whole sexual history on log. Like, that shit would be wow, son. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I mean, ask yourself, like, I don't want to say nobody's names that we know. I think I know a person I would definitely want to. I know someone right now.
What celebrity would you want to follow?
I'm not honestly trying to see anybody have sex, so like it's gonna be hard.
I don't know. There's a
Honestly,
couple baddies that I wouldn't be. I wouldn't mind.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed, but um, damn, I'm trying to think of like a more like mid like to exciting. Maybe like Lil Uzi. Oh, probably fucking Gunna right now, bro. Honestly, just seeing his day to day, because this nigga talk about crying and shit. Like, I would just love to see his day to day outside of jail. Like, what he be moving like.
Gunna
What does
is
he be
awful.
doing?
Oh no,
Like,
that would be a hit show. Gunna is awful because we'd really know if this nigga snitched. Like
they'd be
would show it.
they'd be like, this is a rewind, and they're like, no, what the fuck? No, this shit just aired today, because like the show aired the day of all those events, like so like it was only everything that led up from the beginning of the day to everything that goes further than that. So if they're like, yeah, we hit a rewind, this is a Streamberry first, like, bro.
And the crazy thing is too, like I feel like the way the algorithm worked, because it says it's tailored specifically to you. So I feel like it would show people that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. It would be like Instagram showing you, Sterling's new Instagram feed pops up. So it would just show me, oh, Sterling's awful. Like, oh, damn, they got a season 2. Sterling been cutting up lately. This nigga been all one, bro.
I'm not trying to get what do you call it? I'm trying to get canceled in them motherfuckers for sure. Trying to. Not canceled in the way y'all think. I'm trying to get my whole ass show canceled. Have niggas going deceased and shit. Actually, and you think about it, really, if it happened in real life, there'd be a lot of people that will off themselves. Just respectfully. And like, look, I'm not trying to like hate on suicide or nothing like that for the folks listening and watching. But like there would be a large group of people, I feel like, that would off themselves.
Oh yeah, it would be terrible.
People like, and this ain't even, this is like, there's some people aren't built that way to handle like criticism, no matter if it's the smallest amount. Like,
I don't know many people in that situation that would be able to handle that kind of scrutiny, because it's not like someone saying, oh, blah blah this about you. This is just like everyone knows, hey bro, you did that shit. Like we know you did that shit, and we saw word for word exactly how that went down. There ain't no talking about it. There ain't no press release a celebrity can put out or whatever you want to do. Like that shit's out there.
It's live shit. I thought it was funny they had a whole ass computer, but dude, the thing is, this I think legitimately, like maybe not real time, but I believe that if with the way technology is now with our phones, if you have a smartphone, point blank period, you have a smartphone and you use a laptop on a daily basis, like they could get the audio to everything you said all day.
They won't need it, bro. We just talked about how not too long ago, Neuralink putting chips in our head. Like they'll have if they can extract what's in our head that way, they'll have our thoughts. They'll have audio clippings. I know the new Apple Vision Pros, we didn't talk about it, but there's a way you can record everything you're seeing. And so like, people are probably just walking around having their whole lives recorded so they can replay it back. Kind of like the very first episode of Black Mirror that was created, or one of the first ones in the first season that was created. And so people just be recording everything, and there'll be audio clippings and all that. It's like, it's crazy to think that that's not too out of the realm. And I know that quantum computing, the computer that they had in the show, I think they say it's anywhere from, maybe we're 30 to 50 years out, but it's really not that far away.
We'll see it in our lifetime. We'll see either the back end, the front end, or we'll see the front end of it at some point. If we're lucky enough. But the thing is, man, I think if we're trying to take like not necessarily a wholesome thought process and approach to this, but like really think about it as a human being, bro. Like I said, it made me look introspectively and like really like be like, damn, like, because it shows your integrity. Like it literally outlines your integrity. There's no such thing. Like your integrity has to be phenomenally high at that point for you not to seem awful on TV. Like and people's integrity is not great. I don't care if you have the highest. Oh, I have a lot of integrity. No, motherfucker, no, you don't, because you're a human being, bro. We're grimy. It's in our blood. Like we can't escape it. We do shit to get an advantage. We do it all the time. We do it all the fucking time. We do shit we're not supposed to do because we want to do it. We do it all the time.
That's kind of
And
why I had a different perspective on it. To be honest, I didn't really see it like, I didn't really see it like you had to hold yourself to a higher standard because, like, what if you were being filmed and how would that be perceived? Would you be okay with how you're being perceived and moved? But more so, I kind of took it like, hey, you're human. And just because just because there's a Mike is awful, guess what? There is a season for Sterling and X, Y, Z. Every person you know has a season that they're awful. Like, don't take it to heart. Like like you said, everyone has those days. Just make sure that just make sure they can make a season out of it, not a whole series.
Exactly. They can make a whole there's definitely some people. There's probably a lot of fucking people they can make a whole ass series out of, like dead ass, and it would be the best shit ever. I think also to the point, kind of what you were just saying. I just lost my train of thought. I think that when it comes down to it, like, as humans, honestly, I think the ultimate thing could happen if they did it with, like, every American, for example. Not even, like, everyone across the world, but just every American. I think it would make people less, quote-unquote, judgmental. I don't like the word judgmental, but, like, it would make people be more understanding.
Oh, it would end cancel culture instantly. You can't cancel anyone.
Yeah.
There's a season of you doing the same shit.
Yeah, it's like, because think about it, like, say, like, say somebody's parents died or someone near dear to them passed, and then, like, there's, like, a couple episodes later and they're, like, popping off on somebody at work. They're like, damn, like, fuck, like, I can't even be mad at him. Like, he's probably going through a tough time, like, damn, like, that shit sucks. Like, you literally can't even be mad. Like, you can't even be upset at bro or girl to be mad or upset. So I think it could be a great thing if people learn how to handle it. But then there's the awful niggas that be knowing they be doing awful shit and are not comfortable with people knowing they say and do awful shit all the time. That's the niggas that would be out of control. They do it just like Jones, shit in a goddamn church. I could not believe. I was like, what is she doing right now? Like, when she pulled up with the burgers, like, I was like, oh shit, she had like 4 burgers. And then I saw her pull the I said, oh no. And then she walked into the cheer, Harley Quinn style. Did you see her little homage to Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? And the kids like, there's kids here. They're like, get them out of here. I was dying, bro. I was dying. There was literally just shit on the floor at church, bro. At church. Honestly, she might have got dapped up in there if it was a black church. I ain't gonna lie.
You saw how, like, they would have tore her ass up, bro.
They would have literally thrown her shit back on her. Literally thrown it on her. And then next thing you know, it'd been like, Tyrone's awful. Lamar is awful. Nah, he did the right shit. Look at that nigga. He threw that shit right on that bit. But yeah, man, it was a good episode. It's the only reason I watched the next episode. That's literally, and I know it could be a different episode. That's the thing, a different concept. But I'll still watch the second episode because I'm like, if it's gonna be this good every single episode, like, I might get hooked again. It might happen.
Yeah, second episode is pretty crazy. I like the third episode. I like better than the second one, but that's as far as I've gotten.
Yeah. Well, for the folks out there that haven't watched it, definitely go out there and watch it. This is gonna be the end of the segment because I want them to hear on the back end. Because, like I told you at the beginning of the shit, do not listen to this shit unless you want the shit spoiled, and you probably won't understand what the hell we're talking about. Also, I gotta say, Salma Hayek looking once again fire. I don't even know how old she is at this point. She's fire. She's so fire. I don't know what else to say. And if you disagree with me, you are high as a motherfucker. You must be smoking the best shit. Honestly, shout out Crack Epidemic because you really on the shit. So I want to roll into the sports realm because we got the Gunna album. We'll get back to it. I don't want to make it all about sports tonight. Obviously, like Michael had introduced earlier, a couple of topics we were going to talk about. I want to go roll into the idea here, not the idea, but the situation with Ja Morant. So, for those that didn't watch past podcasts, haven't been keeping up with the NBA, for those that aren't really in the sports, it's completely okay. This is still culture because it is what it is. and we're here to talk about stuff that we have no business talking about. But if you didn't know, Ja Morant had a whole situation with a gun in the past, multiple situations actually, him flexing a gun on Instagram Live at some point, and this guy's just dumb. Like at this point, I don't understand it. But aside from the point, he is obviously a public figure, one of the biggest NBA superstars in the world, or one of the biggest superstars in the world. So, excuse me. This past week, Ja Morant was issued a 25-game suspension starting the beginning of the next season. So the question I have for you, Mike, is one, I mean, for the transgressions that he's had, being it his second time, is this a fair punishment? And if you were the commissioner being, for those that don't know, Adam Silver, would you have been a little bit harsher, or would you have been a little softer on this sentence? Not sentence, but the suspension, I should say.
All I'm going to say is shout out to Ja Morant's PR team for, I guess, coming up with what I think is the shittiest and the dumbest excuse that I've ever heard, that it was a toy gun. Like, no, that was the dumbest shit ever. But shout out to his PR team, because supposedly, I guess Adam Silver bought that shit. Like, because I really don't even understand, why people are even, who would believe that shit? It's a toy gun, but you wait 2 weeks to tell us? If it was a toy gun and everybody was coming after my millions, I would have been, yo, this shit is a toy, bro. Like, that would have been in a discussion from the jump. Like, nah, this shit is a toy. Then Ja Morant posts a video of him with the toy gun, and it's a lighter, and he's lighting a motherfucking candle. Like, nigga, you didn't just order that off Amazon. Like, we could all just order a fucking, like, it took you 2 weeks. I know you ordered that shit off Amazon with your millions and didn't even have the audacity to ship it next day. Bro waited for the free shipping, and that's why that video came in so late, because he didn't even want to pay to ship it next day. Like, come on, get that shit out of here. But if we're going to talk about the time itself, what really confuses me the most is Adam Silver's like, I don't want to release the punishment, the suspension yet, because it's going to take away from the NBA Finals. That's how you know right there that this NBA Finals won't shit. Because Adam Silver thought that a 25-game suspension would have taken over the NBA Finals. That weak-ass, soft-ass suspension. No, he should have got half the season at least. And just off principle, even if it was a toy gun, Ja is playing with niggas that he has no business playing with. Off principle, he should have been made an example of. Now, I'm not saying nothing that like Ja's a bad person. I'm not going to utter those type of stuff. People make mistakes. Although he made it twice really soon back to back. That's enough in the real world to get you fucked. But he's big time. But all I'm saying is he needed half the season. I don't think this is going to get through Ja's head. Like, he might act right next season, but he's definitely going to do some bullshit later on in his career, bro. 25 games is not enough. He could still make the playoffs. Like, that's not enough. He should have derailed their season. He should have been half the season out of here, made an example of, and Ja really would have felt that. Like, I felt like he would have felt that, and David Stern would have done that. David Stern would have had his ass. Adam Silver is a player's commissioner, which is cool, it's great, but at the same time, like, I feel like these players, and I'm all for players having power, but like, when it starts to deteriorate, the actual product, at the end of the day, it's a business. And the games aren't games. It's not like high school games where we're playing. This is a product. It is actual entertainment. And when you're having these players affecting the product, then you kind of have to put your foot down. And Adam Silver, I don't know what you thought you did. I guess he felt like he really laid down the hammer, but that was some weak ass shit, bro.
Bro, Big Stern would have fucked this nigga up, bro. He would have been like, yeah, you're suspended for the whole season, bro. He'd be like, what? He'd be like, what you mean? You want to make it 81 games instead of 82? Shut the fuck up. Like, what you want? Like, bro, that's the type of nigga David. I thought the same shit when I heard this. I was like, David Stern would have fucked him up, bro. Like, ain't no, not once, but fucking twice, my boy. Like, oh my God. Like, I agree with you. In the regards that, I mean, I definitely think that the 25 game suspension wasn't enough. I don't, and like, the Grizzlies aren't that bad of a team to be able to win games while Ja's not there. They did it. They literally did it. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, Adams, I get it. Like, you want it for the entertainment because Ja brings in a lot of money tickets wise, like a shitload. But hey, big dog, season tickets already bought for next season, bro. They already bought out. Like, you ain't gotta worry about that. It's them regular ass tickets that people gotta actually buy that you gotta look out for. Secondly, in terms of harshness, like, I mean, and like I kind of already alluded to, I mean, 25 games ain't shit, bro. There's 82 games. Excuse me. There's 82 games in the regular season. Think about what he just did to him. That means he gets to play 57 games. 57. Say they go like 580 in those games. They'll be somewhere around 37, 30 something wins. 31, 32 wins out of 57 games he plays. I mean, bro, they go even in his 25 games or even or a little bit under 12 games. That's 49 or 49 fucking wins. 49 over, what is it? 33. 49 and 33. That's a good fucking record.
Yeah.
That's a good ass record, bro. This is the West. That shit's hard. That shit is not easy. Like, you talking about, oh, yeah, like 25 games, but you know what I'm saying? He should have disqualified him for the All-Star game. That's all he want to do. Because guess what? We're the All-Star game next year, Mike. I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. I can look up.
Out.
I can look up.
Yep.
But I feel like John Morant was also kind of playing in Adam Silver's face. Like, Adam Silver, he called you pussy, bro. You literally, like, you had a one-on-one, man-to-man talk with him. They sat him down with Jalen Rose on national television, had a face-to-face interview, and then Ja called you pussy, stood up on the Jeep, and flashed the gun playing NBA Youngboy, was in the car flashing the gun. He don't care, bro. He is living in a different world right now. Did you find where it's at?
It's in fucking Indiana, bro.
Oh, Ja don't want to go that no way. There's strip clubs there's strip clubs he'd rather be at anyway. He cool off that, yo.
Yeah, I mean, like, bro, and it's all because they postponed the COVID because of COVID. It would have been in 2021, which I don't know why the fuck, bro. Like, you're going to Indianapolis.
That shit sounds whack, bro.
Like, going to Miami, even Charlotte, like, Atlanta, New York, fucking LA, like, even San Fran, because you obviously got Golden State, big basketball city, more than they've always been a big basketball city, but actually been able to win over the past few years. You could have went to Austin or, like, Dallas, like, bro, Houston. Like, bro, like, you could, hey, let's go to fucking Indianapolis, bro. Let's fucking do it. Think about how many, like, you know why I think it's in Indianapolis. If you really want me to think, like, say it this way, and they made this game because it got moved, like I said, from the 2021 season. Because I think they could have probably put it in any season they wanted to, like if they wanted. It's completely up to them. I think because they thought LeBron was gonna be gone by now, and they're like, oh, well, we could put it in 2024 since it got canceled. Because
I thought it was like a bid process. Is it not like a bidding process?
It is a bidding process. I don't know how far they bid out, but I know they probably had some leeway in terms of years. They probably could have put it back a couple more years if they wanted to. But my personal opinion is that they probably thought LeBron was going to be gone. That brings away tickets. Not even tickets. I mean, this could be sold out, but that brings away people and the excitement about the game and etc. But back to the point that we were saying. Yes, John Morant played in Adam Silver's face. His soft, skinny ass, bald head ass, naked mole rat looking ass, literally said, 25 games. That's enough. Like, all I gotta say is like, for me, and then the toy gun thing, that shit just too funny for me. Like, I can't even believe someone would even try to play. Bro, people know what real guns look like. Like, we know what a real Glock looks like, bro.
Nobody
I don't
would have
even know that.
reacted that way on the fucking phone. His friend wouldn't have moved the phone if it was a toy. If it was a toy gun, he would have moved it away and then be like, I got you, and then just lit the little fire like it was a toy. We know that wasn't no toy gun, nigga. You tripping,
Bro. And I'm tired of like. See, we talked about this briefly, I believe, in like one of our pods in the past. It's just that like the youth in the NBA is so great because there's a ton of talent. It's so good for the game. It makes the game exciting. Speaking of that, draft on Thursday. Y'all better be looking out. I don't think. I'm just joking. I'm looking out for the Charlotte Hornets pick. That's all I give a fuck about. But there's so much young talent in the league, and when you give people that. Not to say Ja came from some broke-ass family or nothing like that. He didn't even come from no broke shit. He's just a regular-ass nigga, bro. Regular middle-class nigga that just played basketball and he happens to be good at it. Like, but a lot of times when people come from situations where they didn't have any type of money and they don't really know how to deal with it, they be acting up. He just acting up point-blank, period, bro. Like, who told you you're a gangster, my boy? And who told you it's okay? And who told you that 25 games was enough, Adam Silver? Because somebody should have clocked your bald ass over the head and said, hey, my boy, I need that shit to be like way more.
I mean, like, if it was only going to be 25 games, why did we make it such a big deal when it happened again? Like, why is everyone acting so stern? Like, I felt like the way that they were treating it, the kind of the aura around the whole situation, like when they came out with a 25-game suspension, it was just kind of like, I mean, I guess. Like, I mean, I feel like if I was a player, bro, like, and it was just a 25-game suspension, next time I'm lit up with my boys in the club, I'm over here dangling the gun like,
hey, fuck you, Adam.
Give me that 25. I'm going to Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Nigga really thinks that shit was enough. He was like, yeah, this shit's good, bro. This is going to get him real good. Like, ain't nobody in Ja's camp is like, oh, like, bro, you gotta, like, they probably want him to stop doing it because they want that bag, but, like, I mean, dog, it's just OD. Like, it's so pathetic. It's just pathetic at this point, bro. And I hate it. I hate it for, like, the league, because the league ain't really gonna understand. Now you gonna have a whole bunch of niggas acting up for no reason.
Oh, yeah. A whole bunch of, and Ja had the nerve to say, I think the media is out to get me. Like, nigga, no, you just stupid as fuck. You dumb as fuck.
I went on Instagram Live.
Like, bro, you are just dumb as fuck. I don't want to hear the media is out to get me. You literally was the biggest news in the NBA for flashing a gun, and then you went and did it again and want to have the nerve to say somebody's out to get you. And then got a 25-game suspension, bro. They're literally doing everything they can to make sure that your reputation is straight, and you just out here just don't get the message. But I mean, I thought it was soft. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go and let it be known, Ja. I ain't got no I don't disrespect you, bro. Nothing like that. No, I say, and I like watching you play basketball, but like as a for the young bucks out there, anybody looking up at Ja, he's the wrong one right now, bro. He's the wrong one. I'm sorry. Sorry. That's point blank. Yeah. And fuck you, Adam Silver, for literally just being soft as fuck. I usually like you, like, honestly, because I think you've done good for the league. I mean, we know Big Stern would have fucked that nigga over, like I said, but you being a little bit soft here. Being a little bit soft. And you acting like your voice sounds. And I don't need you to be doing that. I need you to bring that energy. I need you to bring that energy, bro. But speaking of stupidity, not even necessarily stupidity, but just very, very dramatic situation. One of our favorite artist on the planet, man. I love listening to him. I'm sorry. If the streets, I'm sorry. Look, hey, I'm sorry, bro. Gunna. If you don't know, Gunna just dropped an album called. Let me get the name here. A Gift and a Curse. So that's something to even think about off the rip. Just the album name. But obviously we listen to the album. We're music people. We're gonna go through it. Want to get first your initial thoughts on the album, and then I'll kind of go into some questioning here in terms of like, and maybe it might lead right into it, you know?
Yeah. Initially, so I listened to it, and I went in with a blank slate. I didn't go into it wanting to not like it. I didn't go into it rooting for him. I just listened to it and, let me see what he's got to say. And for all the street niggas out there, y'all took y'all's first L, bro. Rats up. Rats up. Hey, watch out in New York City. Them rats about to be running, son, because the rats up. 6ix9ine, he already out here. He was blasting that Gunna. He had a video. He was blasting Gunna. Yo, Rats got the dub right now because Gunna came with the heat, bro. Gunna came with the heat. And I was listening to this one podcast, NFL podcast, where they talk about a bunch of rap albums. And they were really quick to put out their review. And one thing I noticed about all the people on podcasts, YouTube, etc., that were really quick to put out the review on Gunna is they jumped on the, oh, this is trash, this is bad. And where I kind of think that they were going with it is they thought that was going to be the perceived notion that everyone was going to jump to hate on it because he ratted out, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? You jumped the gun, bro, because Gunna came in firing. I thought it was a great album, top to bottom. No features, which was really impressive. I thought it was much better than Lil Durk's album, which Lil Durk was just talking shit about Gunna on the Academics podcast, where he was calling him a rat. He said, "You don't fuck with no rats." Well, guess what? Gunna said, "Fuck you mean," and then a swerve. He said, "Fuck."
That shit. Fuck you mean? Yeah. Look, I'm gonna go let it be known, bro. Let it be known that if you're one of them, bro, like. Shut up, Lil Durk. You didn't even slide. Like, I don't want to hear shit. Like, you already know this shit. Like, come actually, don't come see me, please.
Yeah, you wild, son. Big Stern said that. Not Mike.
That was Mike. But yeah, word. I mean, like, look, man. I got no hate to the streets. I mean, obviously, I'm not in the streets either, and I don't really know what that life's like personally. But I agree with you, man. I mean, the album was great. I mean, top to bottom, man. I had Bottom's my favorite song off the album right now. Right now, Bottom's my favorite song. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh, that shit. You put that shit in the car, boy, you be feeling right. You be feeling excited. Played it while I was in the gym today. Like it's great. And then like he kind of talked about a little bit, like I don't know what song it was in, which record it was, but he was talking about how he's like at the back of his lawyer's Lambo truck crying, or Maybach or something. Like he's saying like this shit's been like hard on him, like people obviously not supporting him and like thinking he's did something he don't think he like that he obviously says that he didn't. And that type of shit, I feel for him, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of goes to the album cover or the album title being a gift and a curse. Like, it's a gift that I had the streets, but now it's a curse that, like, I had to, like, maybe he's just insinuating the fact that he didn't even do what people think he did and he's still getting fucked over for it, like, personally for him. Talking about bulletproofing his cars, bro, like, all his whips to make sure he's not getting pulled up on it and getting slid on. Hey. Young Thug got some shooters. That's what I want to let it be known. I want to let it be known that he got real shooters, and them niggas don't give a fuck. They'll kill anybody.
Yeah, I'm really fucking with Turn Your Back on the album. The shit's so hard. Gunna's so good at like just the soft kind of thug melody shit. Also, like, what's kind of funny to me though is these new niggas when they rapping, bro. Cause I think it's like as much as I like the song and I like the sound. Have you ever thought about just how fucking lame it really is when you think about the fact that these supposedly hard-ass niggas get on a track and over here, harmonizing in melody and trying to sound tough as shit? Like, nigga, don't fucking sing about how you gonna shoot me, bitch. Like, that shit whack.
YNW Melly, bro. YNW
No,
Melly.
when he says
1000%.
it sounds demonic. It sounds demonic and scary as fuck, so I don't...
Well, he He be hitting some melodic stuff here and there. He be rolling with that
No,
sometimes.
he be hitting
that's
the
occasional.
melodies, but it be sounding like them fucking horror movie melodies, like you about to die type shit. I got murder on my mind. Like, oh hell no, bro. I believe you, nigga.
That's
I
the
believe you.
Exorcist, motherfucker. I believe your ass too. Going like kind of want to get to a question or two here because I want to see where your head's at on it, and I have obviously some thoughts on it, all of them as well. One, first being, are the streets? I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but we could ask it anyways. Are the streets, and I'm talking specifically about Atlanta because we know, that's his place. That's where they from. Are they fucking with this at all, or like what's going on? Like, do we feel like they're even like fucking with it, or they like fucking with all the low key, and they're just like can't be bumping this shit in the car, bro? What from my boys?
I'm feeling like Atlanta. I think there's two scenarios. I think they're either not listening to it, not even going to allow themselves to fuck with it, or kind of like you said, like they heard it somewhere and was like, "Fuck you mean?" Like, oh shit, like that's what that's what that nigga fucking. Oh, I can't play that shit. But I personally, I don't think it matters. Like, I understand Atlanta's the epicenter of where all this goes down, and that's his fucking spot and whatnot. But everybody outside of Atlanta is fucking with this. This shit is like running Apple Music charts right now. It's like number one right now. It's killing it. It does not matter what Atlanta thinks. Gunna is past Atlanta. He only needed Atlanta to blow up. He's past that. He's fucking nationwide now, and we're fucking with it. And I think here's a crazy thing too. I think that we are moving for all the street niggas that go by street code. And I mean, I understand you grew up on it and whatnot, and it's honorable that you have a code, you live by it, and you stick by it. It shows your ability to be disciplined with your morals and X, Y, and Z. But guess what?
Hold on, we talking about morals. These motherfuckers be selling drugs to niggas.
But it's a code, bro. It's a code, and they follow by it. But even though they selling drugs, like, they do it within the guidelines of the code. You don't pop up on somebody else's corner, bro. And if you pop up on somebody else's corner and they give you a little, then you ain't got nobody to be mad at yourself. It's code, nigga. You already knew it. You read the book, But all I'm saying is if you are one of those people and you identify with that life and you identify with that code, I hate to tell you this, you are a dying breed. You're completely a dying breed. And you want to know why you're a dying breed? You're a dying breed because the rappers today they're not really about that like that. Like, they lived around it. They were hanging with those people, but they're glorified mascots. And rap is so big now that it doesn't matter if the streets ain't fucking with you. Guess what? The streets aren't buying the concert tickets. The streets aren't buying merchandise. You know who's buying merchandise? Fucking middle class, rich, white boys and girls are buying the merchandise, and they don't give a fuck if you rat it, bro. If they wanted you to rat, they didn't want to see you in prison, so they wanted you to drop another album. All that shit is dying. You like, people need to get the whole rat shit out your brain. That shit, like, that holds no weight no more. Whether you think it's right or wrong, it doesn't hold any weight. I promise you. As long, like we always say, as long as you deliver on the tunes, it does not matter what you're doing at all, and Gunna deliver. Just sign, seal, deliver.
I think that it kind of leads into the next question here, which is obviously the opposition here being Thugger. And if y'all don't know who Thugger is, I don't even know what to say while you're watching it. I'm just joking. I'm here to educate too. Young Thug announced a possible drop of an album via QR code, right? Pretty close to like Gunna dropping, like right after, like around the time, and he was getting reposted by Drake, big artists, bro. Like, and I'm thinking that Thug's got these people on the album too, which is crazy. That shit could be nuts. He coming for somebody's neck. And the thing is, Drake ain't gonna talk that street shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think Thug's about to like clap back at Gunna, or are they on good terms? Like, he even said in the album, like, Gunna had a line like "Free Thug" or Free Thugger, something like that, like along the lines like free. Oh, it was Free Jeffrey.
Yeah,
It was Free Jeffrey. Like, bro, he said it. He ain't trying to have beef with him. He just saying some of these niggas out here that like are out, maybe trying to slide on him. It's like, no, fuck y'all niggas, because y'all ain't real niggas. Like, y'all ain't the people that I'm trying to fuck with. I'm trying to fuck with him because he got me here. He helped me get to where I am. Like, do you think Thug is gonna stoop low and clap back at Gunna on this album somehow?
I know you got some thoughts. I'll kind of give you what I'm thinking. I kind of take a different approach. I feel like a lot of people are going to look really stupid when Thug comes out and there's a Gunna track. Or Thug comes out and has a line saying, I still ride with my nigga Gunna, or some shit advocating for Gunna. A lot of niggas going to look stupid. And I don't know if that's necessarily what I think is going to happen, but I'm just saying, if that were to happen, people like Lil Baby, Lil Durk, what you gonna do now? Because if I'm Gunna and Thug says that and, you know, he co-signs me again, and so the streets are cool, like Young Thug was in on it and he's straight with it.
Running it up.
If Lil Baby or Lil Durk hit me up, it's like, nah, it's ups, nigga. It's up. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. J. Cole's little verse can't save you today. My album's eating your album, bro. Because Gunna didn't need no features. Durk got all the features in the world. His album still ain't hit on shit. I ain't heard his album nowhere but all my life. Literally, J. Cole's the only reason why I've heard J. Cole and a fucking group of choir fucking white kids is the only reason why I've heard Lil Durk anywhere since I've been out and about. Also, I mean, I guess, you know, Lil Durk don't make music for me. He make music for, you know, the streets. I ain't in the streets. But all I'm saying is, you know, the money's not in the streets. So where the money is, I'm not hearing your music being played. I guarantee you, Gunna's music gonna be played.
Bread and butter, baby.
Exactly.
No.
But what are you kind of thinking about? Because I know you had some thoughts on the QR code, and I'm kind of curious to see kind of where your head is.
First off, I think it's fire fucking marketing. Second of all, I know for a fact Doug's sister is about to eat It doesn't matter, bro, because the label's still eating. Like, It doesn't matter. Gunna makes an album, Doug makes an album. They can manufacture beef, and they're both gonna eat.
Yeah.
Like, that's what, like, think about it. Make two separate records, and people are gonna listen to both of them to compare them.
And it's still under YSL too. Like, Gunna's new album is still under YSL.
So he's still signed with them. Like, it's bro. Doug's sister's eating. YSL's eating. They're gonna continue to eat because they have a great label / gang. And there's no reason, like, me personally, I don't think Doug's gonna come after Gunna on the album. He might throw something in there, like, he won't say it. Maybe him not saying anything might be like shots in and of itself. But I mean, I'm assuming Drake and all the people that reposted the QR code are on the album, because, you know, Drake's all about his fucking clout. He gonna make sure niggas know he be there. Excuse me. I'm thinking if Drake's on that album, and he definitely ain't saying shit to Gunna on a Drake song, because Drake ain't about to be like, I shoot you in the face, Gunna, fuck you, nigga. Nah, he will kill him. Gunna will kill him. He'll get someone to kill him. Like, Drake, you're going to die.
No. Nobody can touch Drake, bro. Nobody.
Well,
Drake can sneak this any rapper in the game, and he's not getting touched.
Well, no, I'm saying physically. I don't know if you think I'm talking like metaphorically. I'm talking about, like, really kill him, like, physically.
Oh, I know. Him. I'm saying nobody's touching Drake, bro. Nobody.
Bro, I don't know. The YSL. No matter if the people in YSL ain't really fucking with Gunna like that right now, like, they got a lot of leverage, bro. He still has leverage in the street. There's still people out there fucking with him.
Drake is protected by Jay Prince and his people.
He did say he did it for Jay Prince.
Drake is good, bro.
Maybe?
Drake is. I promise you, if any nigga was to diss somebody on that album and it was Drake, you know, all Drake gonna get is a verse back. And then you gonna get cooked on that too. Be like, damn.
Yeah. He gonna have the Ghost Rider coming with leaks.
He also going to
But nah,
diss you
man,
in a way that you're not even sure if he's dissing you. It's gonna be like, damn, is that about me? I'm not even sure. He said he was gonna go to the Senko Sink,
it's
back to the Vava, to the
give me the
Senko Sink.
sneak.
I don't even know what this nigga talking about right now.
You couldn't even go to the Vava, back to the Vava, to the Vuvu.
Like, what the fuck? But I don't think Young Thug would say any. I don't think he's gonna come at Gunna. I think, like you said, depending on how he doesn't come at Gunna, could be a diss in itself. But I really think that Young Thug, more importantly than anything, is just gonna use this opportunity to make like a really good project. I'm kind of curious. I don't know. Do you think that they like? Do you think that they have scraps that they're using and they're gonna try and use scraps that he's already made to kind of fit the mold of what's going on now? Or do you think that like it's like a Lil Wayne type thing where Lil Wayne recorded parts of his song in the mother beeping the mother in the jail cell and I
think there's gonna be a mixture of both. I think it's gonna be a mixture of both. Because I don't think that they're gonna pull out all old scraps. I'm sure Thug's got crazy amounts of scraps, great stuff. But to make like a concise project, because you know Thug, he's a smart guy. Obviously, if he got away with having running a gang for years, but I think it's gonna be a mixture. The scraps gonna be a mix of like where they can't find like that same sound they want on something maybe he put together that was new-ish. Like if you don't think people are sliding to the fucking prison cell to record with Thug or like have like collaborate with him, then you're fucking crazy.
Oh no, so, everybody's itching to get on that. Anybody who's anybody would be itching to get on that.
And the whole notion behind Gunna's album, the reason he did it solo is the fact that they like don't think he had the bread to do it. Like that's like to have features, because like bro, there's like $1 million features. Like, or no, Drake's like, well, he used to be 500K. He probably $1 million now. Like, to get him on a track, like, unless he's just offering to be on the track, and he's probably, oh, discounted rate $750. Like, come on, bruh. Like, you know I'm gonna be on this. Yeah, it's nothing but an OVO thing, yeah. Like, nah, he doesn't like, he doesn't need money, but he a greedy motherfucker. He said that shit in so many songs. On the lowest of keys of how greedy he is, and niggas, nobody catches it, bro. Nobody catches it because Drake. You're like, this shit a fucking banger, like, taken. But I give props to Gunna, bro, doing a whole solo album. I mean, it's the best. I gotta be careful. It's probably the best project I've heard in full this year, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like so far, it'll be perceived that way. I'm more on Pistols and Pearls, Kodak Black, but like, I definitely feel like Gunna's A Gift and a Curse will be perceived as a better album. But I'm all.
I mean, just commercially, it'll be a better.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, and we all know you're a Kodak stan. If you guys don't know, now you know. This man is a stan for Kodak. I like Kodak too, but he's a stan. He's a stan.
Yes, sir.
Ain't know what else. But I do give him big ups, man. I was listening to a little bit of the Joe Budden podcast. They were chatting about it. Shout out Joe Budden. Love the pod. Love to do a collab one day when we actually get somewhere. But yeah, sick. I was listening to him talk about it a little bit. And I was like, damn, like people are like, there's so many different ways to look at this situation with Gunna. So many different ways with this album, the way it sounds, like what it's about, like X, Y, and Z. There's so many different ways to look about it. And I think that one of the things that like I find really impressive is that not only he did it solo, but the fact that it hit.
Yeah.
Like if you just did a solo album, that shit dropped. Like, and it's just like, oh, all right. People said this was the make or break album for him. Like, if he did not hit an album here, like, and he decided to do that shit solo, no features, bro. No fucking features.
He knocked it out of the park. The only thing that I would say is I honestly feel like he should have dropped this album a little earlier because sonically, the sound of it, I would have preferred it a little bit earlier into the season than I would as a summer album per se. Doesn't necessarily sound like a summer album. That doesn't take away from the fact that it's a good album. He killed it. He knocked it out of the park. But just from a sounds perspective, sonically, I would have preferred it maybe a couple months earlier. I feel like it would have kind of tied in with, the way people are moving out in the seasons right now. But as a summer project, it still hitting. It's still banging, and people are still going to play it. I just wouldn't have put it out beginning of summer because it doesn't necessarily match the tone of what's going to be going on throughout the day.
Hey, bro, I'm just gonna go let you know it's not summer yet.
It's gonna be summer. Isn't it gonna be summer by the time they hearing this shit?
Who the fuck is they?
Huh?
Who the fuck is they?
I don't know. I gotta say they. I don't know who listening to it.
I'm joking. I'm just fucking with you. Nah, man. Excuse me. Impressive, and I do think this is a staple. This is a staple.
Damn, nigga, what's in your goddamn throat, bro? What the fuck?
I think this is gonna
dying.
be this is gonna be a standout album for the rest of Young Thug's music career. This will be the album that people talk about. It won't be this album was great. Like, it'll be the fact that he made an album, came out of prison, and it hit, and he did it all by himself. Not all by himself, but he did it solo on the tracks. And that's something I can respectfully appreciate because there's something about doing that type of shit. It's so hard. It's so hard. Like, it's so hard to do.
It is absolutely commendable when someone achieves greatness on their own. They stand out on their own and achieve greatness on their own. But unfortunately, we're about to talk about someone who does not achieve greatness on his own. He's literally been on super team after super team after super team. Still can't get no ring without the fucking man himself, fucking Steph Curry. But he's been on super team after super team. In case you did not hear, breaking news, big news came out. It was probably the biggest news in sports at the moment. Because John Morant's suspension won't fucking shit. So this was the biggest news in sports, is that Bradley Beal got traded to the Suns. So now we're looking at a big three assembled with KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. Absolutely nasty big three. That shit sounds crazy. I'm interested to see how they incorporate it, how they kind of work and play off of each other. But we will get into all that. First, I want to know from you, Sterling, should they be the favorites to come out the West? Damn, should they be the favorites for the finals? What is your initial thoughts?
Absolutely not. They'll go out in the semifinals of the Western Conference again. Literally again. I guarantee it. Like, I literally guarantee it. I am so disgusted with. Look, and I'm not even a KD hater. First off, Bradley Beal's definitely an underrated superstar. He's not going to blend well with that team. I'm going to go ahead and let you know. He's just not. He's not going to blend well because KD wants to touch the ball, but KD's a volume shooter. He could actually shoot 50% from the floor and have 30 points. And shoot maybe 20 shots. Maybe. Hey, you know who that Booker is, right? That nigga gonna shoot. We all were trolling, what's his name? KCP? Not KCP, MCP.
Yeah.
We were trolling him, right? When he nonstop, bro. Trigger. Nah. Devin touch the ball, bro. That shit is going up. There is no down with that motherfucker. It's like no drip. No. It's gonna be like, pull up. Kendall, oh my God, I miss you. Like, it's gonna be all types of shit, bro. Like, and the crazy thing is, I wish she would have showed up to one of them games, bro. Oh, he would have been fucking shaking. Obviously, she didn't need to because they still suck. They get rid of the Chris Paul curse, which is great. But I'm gonna tell you, man, semifinals of the Western Conference again. And I'm even predicting the team they lose to, pending Draymond Green getting a different deal at the Warriors. I do believe the Warriors will beat the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference semifinals. 4-2.
I'm kind of on the same boat. I don't see them as being a favorite to get out the West, and here's why. I have a couple questions, and don't get me wrong, they absolutely can do it. I'm not here to say that it's something that they're one of these teams that does not have a shot. They do have a shot. They had the pieces, they had the core to make it happen, and it's kind of interesting how they were able to keep everybody. I mean, they were able to keep DeAndre Ayton, but Ayton's a bitch. But maybe because he's got 3 other people that can get their fucking 20, that it might make Ayton shine a little bit, because we only need you to shine every little here and there, bro. Just play some lockdown defense, get some rebounds, and get you fucking 12 points, nigga. Just do that. Can you do that, nigga? Yo, big ass, can you do that, nigga? Are you gonna let Looney are you going to let all these fucking niggas outwork you, bro? You were literally a dog in Arizona. But no, let me get off Ayton, because he ain't shit. Ayton not shit. The reason why I got questions about this Sun squad is, well, for starters, nobody on that team. I have this theory about when it comes to players and we're looking at them to win a finals, that you can almost feel that they're going to win a finals in their career, or that they're coming up on a finals. Like, it's really, like, I feel like I can feel it. Like, when I first saw Steph Curry and he was having his breakout season, it was like, oh, I mean, I didn't know Steph was going to be what he is today, but I was like, he's going to get him one. No doubt about that. Even come down to this year's with Jokic. Obviously, we doubted him for a really long time, rightfully so at first, but midway through this playoffs, it did not take us long. I feel like most people felt like, oh, okay, this might be the year he gets some one, or at least gets there and really makes some noise in the finals. It's really a feeling. And nobody on that Sun squad gives me that feeling. And with KD, I'm kind of when it comes to finals with KD, I'm over that. I'm over that, yo. KD, you know, he was the best player on those Warriors teams. I get it. Even though Steph saw all the pressure, he saw all the double teams. Teams were trying to stop Steph. So I still believe Steph was the best player on the team. Kevin was allowed to flourish because everybody was trying to stop Steph. But at the same time, without Steph Curry, KD can't do shit. He's had good teams. He's had James Harden, Russell Westbrook. He's had James Harden, Kyrie Irving. He's had Steph Curry, Clay. He's had Devin Booker, Chris Paul. He is going to have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. I think finals for Kevin Durant, for me personally, I just think it's up. I think that shit's up. Now, I do feel like with the Nets squad, maybe if they stay healthy, they might have would have won that. They definitely would have. They would have beat the Bucks for sure. They would have got one. They would have beat the Bucks. But all I'm saying is, I just think that shit's dead with. It's over. Nobody gives me that feeling. Devin Booker doesn't give me that feeling. I don't feel like he's going to get
that nigga is Charles Barkley. He is Charles Barkley reincarnated, bro. Actually, technically it'd be Chris Paul because he's kind of bald. But Devin Booker is a definition, bro. Definition. Will never win because he is too selfish, in my opinion. My personal opinion, I think he's too selfish. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish as a superstar, but I think he's a little too selfish.
I think he's got the skill and he's got the heart for it. It's just, like I said, I have a theory. It's kind of a feeling. He just doesn't feel like, to me, right now, that someone that will get one. Bradley Beal's a good piece. What I like about Bradley Beal, and here's what we got to figure out. Well, we got to figure out for the Suns who's running the point. We saw in the playoffs that Devin Booker is more than capable of running the point. Will they roll that out in the next season? If I was personally them, I would try it out. I would roll Devin Booker with the point. I would make sure that when Devin Booker's looking for shots, he's looking for Bradley Beal. I'm trying to get Bradley Beal as hot as possible, playing the game as early as possible. I want Bradley Beal to get all his buckets. I want him to get in the rhythm as early as possible. Why? Because Devin Booker playing off, when he's playing the point, you know, he's going to get his. with Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant there, Devin Booker's going to get his shots are going to be open. Kevin Durant's plug and play. He don't need the ball. He don't need Devin Booker to dish him the ball. Bradley Beal can get his. Kevin Durant can sit anywhere on the court. When it's his time to score, he will efficiently get his. I'm not worried about KD. That's the approach I would go. But the biggest question mark is the depth. They didn't fix the problem. Yeah, you got somebody else who can get you 20, but the problem was you had no depth. Niggas were tired. There are no role players on the team, and you still didn't fix that problem. I was watching.
Bro, their salary cap is. Do you see that shit?
Yeah. I was just getting it. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was watching first things first. They're gonna have the 3 highest players 2 years from now. So literally. Shout out Nick Wright. I think he's one of the best commentators in the game right now. Might be the best, still pending. But all I'm saying is he said that this year is kind of a make and break because right now they have 2 of the highest paid players in the league in Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Next year and the following year after that, they will have 3 of the highest paid players in the league. What does that mean? It means that if you can't find the adequate pieces to go with them this season, it's only going to get harder from here. So I just don't see how they're going to make that work. I don't think they have the depth. There's a lot of other teams with more potential that I like. I think Golden State's going to do some fire shit in free agency. I don't think they're going to look the same, but I do think that they're going to get the adequate pieces to allow Steph to do his thing again. Nuggets, I don't think they're a flash in the pan. I don't know if they'll win a back-to-back finals, but you got to deal with them. They're here now. They're young and they're here now, and and they got the experience and they got the confidence. Now you got to deal with these niggas every year in, year out. Lakers, who knows what kind of bullshit they gonna do, and LeBron, who knows what kind of fucking GM shit he gonna get him another super team. We thought we were about to get super teams out of here. I'm sure LeBron will find a way to keep it around for as long as he's still playing. But Lakers still going to be in that conversation. Grizzlies, Ja only got a 25-game suspension, so they're going to be out there playing again. And the Mavs making moves. It's going to be tough out there. This is no cakewalk. This is no cakewalk at all. I like the acquisition. They didn't have to give up much. To me, it was a fleece of a deal. But I don't think I just don't see them as the favorites. I don't know who's the guy. Who is the guy? Is it Devin Booker? Is it KD? I'm not sure they know who that guy is that's going to lead them that way, because I just don't feel like KD's going to command the team and the ball to lead them. Devin Booker will command it, but I don't know if I see a finals win with Devin Booker commanding the game and the shot, and Beal's just there for the ride.
The thing, he's just there for the ride. All these guys can take over a game, right? Like, we know this. Bradley was a phenomenal superstar that is once again, like I already said, underrated. As all knows. 2, we already saw what Kevin Durant did in the finals. Like, we know that he is capable. Like, if it's the finals, bro, and especially he's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. There's nobody in the league that can stop Kevin Durant when he's hot. No one. There's not one fucking player. Like Giannis. No, Giannis cannot stop him, bro. Because Giannis is getting his damn knees tore up trying to guard him. Literally trying to guard him. Devin Booker is one of those guys, like you said, he's got the mindset to take over a game. And he's obviously got the skill set. I don't think he can't perform on that stage consistently. Perform on that stage, as you could see in the playoffs. He's like, it's almost like he's known for it at this point. But that's just me. But I don't talk about the NBA because the NBA makes the world go round. We know that when it comes to Kevin Durant's a popular commodity. Thought Lana Rhodes' part of the baby mama drama type show or baby daddy drama. And as we know now, that's my man Bruce Brown. Shout out Bruce Brown. This man ring, and he bagged Lana Rhodes with a kid. And she honestly probably makes around the same amount of money he does, which is insane. And that's all for OnlyFans. Um, but to that very point, guys and gals, I want to talk a little bit more about. There was a picture that just came out with Aaron Rodgers and actually, I did not want to move into this. Yeah, it is. It's Black React time. Jesus Christ, it's already time, man.
Yeah. We rolling.
So after the picture, I know we are rolling, but we started a little earlier tonight, so it's all good on this end. But we are Black React for the week. So after the picture of Aaron Rodgers, obviously, and Kevin Durant, going crazy on the internet, absolutely fucking nuts. It's got us to this mindset now, if we're really looking, at these two players and knowing what they've done in their career, two all-time greats in their sport, respectfully. Who has had the better career in their sport? Would that be the big A, Aaron Rodgers, who just recently moved to another green team that is not the Packers, being the Jets, or the Durantula, the snake himself, Kevin Durant? I want to start off with you, Mike, and see kind of where you stand on this, because I already know I have my thoughts on it.
To me, I think it's pretty easy conversation. I stole this question from Speak for Yourself, solid show. Shout out that show. But I did think that the conversation was interesting, and I was curious to see what you would think. I have a feeling we're kind of on the same boat, but to me, it's an easy answer. I think Kevin Durant has had the greatest career out of the two. And the reason I went for that, and there's a lot of similarities to their career that makes this comparison really good, because they're kind of like the same players in a sense, not necessarily identical matchup perfectly, but they're kind of similar. And it's kind of your preference. Do you hold more weight in an MVP, or do you hold more weight in championships? Obviously, Kevin Durant's got more championships than Aaron Rodgers does, but at the same time, Super Bowls are harder to win than NBA Finals are. And Aaron Rodgers has 4 MVPs. How I had to come to the conclusion that Kevin Durant has had the better career over Aaron Rodgers is because when I think about how they're going to be perceived when their career is over, I think that Kevin Durant will be perceived in a higher light than Aaron Rodgers is as an overall player. Now, Aaron Rodgers, because we inflate quarterbacks so high and we think of the greatest quarterbacks. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a top 5 greatest quarterback, most likely considered when it's all said and done by most people, because he's one of the greatest talents we've seen throw the football. But it's not just a quarterback league. Like, we get caught up in the quarterback stuff. And once we really dial it back and it's not just a quarterback league, no one has Aaron Rodgers top 5 NFL player all time. No one has Aaron Rodgers top 10 NFL, top 15 NFL player all time. I'm not even sure he's a top 20 NFL player all time. When it really said and done, we're really adding in, if we're being honest and not overinflating quarterbacks when it comes to NFL players, then yes, he's not a top 20 NFL player all time. But when Kevin Durant finishes, I think he is definitely going to be a top 20 NBA player all time. He might already be a top 20 NBA player all time. He probably is a top 20 NBA player all time already. And just as a individual, when we look at him when the career's done, I think Kevin Durant will have so much more prestige around his career than Aaron Rodgers will. And Aaron Rodgers has a lot of legacy and a lot of great moments that we have. And like I said, he's got 4 MVPs, which is a really hard thing to do. But at the same time, MVPs are a quarterback award. Only quarterbacks win it. So you're really just the best quarterback that year and not necessarily the best player, because I personally am not someone who believes that the best player is always the best quarterback. So, I mean, that's kind of where I lie on it.
Yeah, I would love to disagree with you. First off, this question was already skewed because I've never personally been a fan of Aaron Rodgers. Like, personally, like as a person, I've never, and that's not from the recent findings of him being an absolute fucking crazy anti-vax. And I'm not gonna go down that route because I don't care if you do want to get vaccinated or you don't. I don't care. But the thing is, I just never like. I just thought he was just a douche. Just from outside perspective, I don't even know the fucking guy. Like, I think he was definitely I think he's been overinflated throughout his career. He's the closest thing to a Jokic in the way that I see Jokic, even though Jokic is nice as fuck, respectfully. But you get overinflated a little bit with this guy because he played for the Green Bay Packers. He was the legacy quarterback of Brett Favre, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time as well. And I mean, you go and get 4 MVPs. I mean, great. I mean, great for you, bro. Like, yes, the Super Bowl is a lot harder to win than what do you call it? The
NBA Finals.
NBA Finals. I mean, we know that. Like, the NBA Finals, bro. Like, the Warriors were there 4 years in a row, bro. What? No. Sorry.
Or
They won 4 championships over 9 years. Over 9 fucking years, these motherfuckers have won a championship. They were there 6 times, and the only time they lost is to fucking LeBron. Actually, they were there 5 times.
They lost to the Raptors.
Okay, 6 times. Yeah, they were there 6 times. 6 times, and they were in the NBA Finals 6 times, won 4 of them, lost 2. The other 3 times they didn't make it to the NBA Finals. Aaron Rodgers, bro, like, your team has not been good prior to this in the past couple years, man. The Packers have struggled mightily.
The problem is that they've actually, regular season wise, they've been one of the better teams. When it comes to the playoffs, they can't get over the hump every single year. So, like, it's really kind of like, yo, you keep knocking at the door.
Why
don't you open it?
You know who it's. You know what? You actually know what team that's reminded me of. Man, I can't put my finger on it. This is Star, and it's like blue. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no clue. Star and it's blue. I mean, is the Star Spangled Banner? I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
It reminds me of because to me, Aaron Rodgers has the Cowboys effect.
Now, ain't nobody bring up the Cowboys on this segment, so there ain't no reason for you to go into this bullshit.
I'm bringing them up. I'm bringing them up to validate my point that we both made that Kevin Durant is the better player in their respective sport. Is the fact that I think that everything the Cowboys do always is embellished because of Jerry Jones, because of the brand of the Cowboys. It's just like the Yankees, or even say the Red Sox, or now the Golden State Warriors, the Lakers, the Celtics. Used to be really big with like the Houston team, being the Rockets. I have to call them the Houston team because they're fucking irrelevant. I mean, I can't sit here and fucking be like, oh yeah, I love watching the Houston Rockets. No, dude, I'm not doing that. And that's unfortunate. I do think Kevin Durant. Some people like, oh, he ran the championship, but bro, he did what the fuck he had to do, bro. Like, Dog said, Russell's psychopath, and James thinks he's a fucking not a 6-man. I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, what did you want him to do? So, goes and shows that he could be the best player on the team of a bunch of other good players. And so, I think right now, like, I agree with you. I think that's that feeling, back to our last point, where there's some people that won't win a championship with the team that he's got now. If he can lead this team to a championship, it will be like, okay, you did what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, it'd be like you brought a team that has like basically no experience, very little experience to the finals, but not only brought them to the finals. If you win the finals, it's just kind of like, wow, okay, you did what you're supposed to do. It'd be the Jokic championship. That's what it would be. Because that's how I saw this past year. It's just like you did what you were supposed to do. Like, there was no, like, really, like, nobody was like, oh, yep, the Miami Heat are going to smoke the fuck out of the Nuggets, bro. No, nobody said that. So, I think when it comes down to it, if you guys disagree with this, you're probably just the most avid NFL fans, and I can get that too. Everybody has their niche. We're pretty well-rounded around here. I'm actually probably more well-rounded in most sports than Mike is, but you're a football, basketball guy. I'm a football, baseball, basketball, soccer, fucking. I watch some damn tennis if it comes down to it, to be honest with you. But in terms of those two sports, he's probably more inept to talk about those even more than I am. And for him to say what he's saying about KD versus Aaron, I mean, I have no reason but not to agree with him. Aside from the fact that I know those facts, some of those facts too. So, want to know some of you guys' thoughts. Comment down below. Let us know, and then obviously interact with us on our social media. If you guys are listening to the podcast pretty religiously and on top of things, feel free to give us a quick follow on our Instagram. That's at 3brothers919. And this is just the After Dark. And so when our drops come out, they do come out every day on all platforms, being YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, etc. And you can listen to it on that. But obviously, we're going to send off because it's going to be, what is this? 1, 2. This will be my last, or this is the second to last podcast I'm doing in my current place.
We're going to have a new setup for Sterling.
I have a new setup. We're going to be ripping it with a new spot, so I'm excited. I'll give you guys a little mini tour, not too crazy because it ain't nothing like it's fucking wild or nothing like that. We'll do a live or something because we're gonna hang out. But yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all guys, I appreciate a lot of support in the last video. I want to get that support. It really helps us out. If you watch the videos, please subscribe. If you guys listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, save us to your liked artist or however you do it podcast. And so when we drop as well. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. So we're going to go ahead and close it out. Once again, thank you for listening. This is the After Dark podcast. For the fellas out there listening, listen, she only wants a 1% nigga. So quit your bitching and get your bread up, my friend. For the ladies out there listening, move on, sweetie. He does not want you, but it's okay because you're still beautiful and powerful and will always love you. It's the After Dark podcast. Until next time.